So I just,
You know what? It's probably
I'll
better
back real quick,
we
so.
done this before we smoke, to be honest.
Mm.
It probably is a better idea.
You'd have been leaning in the chair. Look about what project, what album?
I was thinking that. I don't know, you know.
No, I just made a few tracks and that was that. I made a track. I didn't even know how to do music.
That's the thing that's gonna be like, oh my god, it's me. Good morning. Bro. I hear that.
Alright, you press record?
Yeah, man.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it.
Alright, we're in, yeah?
Yeah.
What's this, episode 21?
21.
21.
Already.
Yeah, it's my favourite number.
Back again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So,
21.
We have
Wagwan, fam.
Wagwan. We have two special guests today.
Yeah, man. Special. Fam.
Two. Yeah? Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I go by the name of Kdeem,
Who?
aka Kdeem.
AKA
My name's Kdeem. Would like to present myself as the artist Kdeem today.
Yes.
Lovely.
And with him, we have...
With him, yes, we have...
His producer.
Unknown entity.
Oh,
Yes.
John Doe.
Oh,
UFO.
John.
Faded Tapes.
Aye.
Lovely.
We love that.
Lovely.
We love that.
Genius.
And what is it that you guys do?
Create music.
Yeah.
We've come together to make a project, and that's what we've come here to share with you guys today.
Sweet.
We've created some vibes, man. It's taken a little sec, but we've got some vibes here to
You
share.
find a little
with you guys.
package underneath your seat.
Don't be too alarmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
It is vibes.
Oh, yeah, man.
I
So,
think initially, I think we wanted to talk about your lives as musicians,
Yeah.
because I think that's a big thing that kind of doesn't sometimes get spoken about. You know, we think that
True.
artists just create and that's it, and it doesn't come with its own downfalls, and sometimes it's great
Trials and
moments.
tribulations.
Yeah, trials and tribulations.
Took it
Yeah.
out my mouth.
So, what struggles do you think artists of this generation actually face? Or what would you say you face?
That's a big question. All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, me as an artist, I like to say that struggles for artists are relative, I guess, with everything. And with this past decade, we've gone into a digital age, so everything is on your phone or your computer or your tablet. And with artists in the last decade, we've had to come to terms with that. Everything is fast paced now. Everything is instant. It's not oversaturated ever. I've heard this argument, but it's almost as if there's an infinite supply of music, and the adaptation of the demand. There's always new music wanted. There's always, if you're not making new music, somebody else is, and it's the constant, I guess, a little bit of pressure, but the constant demand of always making new music that I feel like artists have had to adapt to, just because of how quickly and how easily accessible it's become over the past.
yeah.
I've still got this on my face, isn't it? Shout out Hotspot, man.
Shout out.
I was going to say, yeah, but I thought, right, maybe that's how you're rocking it.
No, I just
Yeah.
realised I support the thing, but yeah.
What about do you mind calling me a producer?
Yeah.
Like, that's what would you say?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd probably say at this point, that's where I'm trying to put slot myself in a producer slot.
What would you say as a producer is something that you maybe struggle with in this generation, or what would you say the struggles are?
Yeah, I would agree with Kdeem in that there's a lot of music now. There's a lot of artists. A lot of people have access to labels, which is just the internet. You don't need like big man to come down with the A&R guy with the you know, for what? You can have all the marketing you need on social media. And more. You know, you're your own boss with it, and I guess like there's a lot, man. There's a lot out there, but like it's interesting what you were saying about you having to make new stuff, because I think that, do you remember the CEO of Spotify, was it? He said something along the lines of saying like, oh, artists don't need to get paid more, they just need to make more music or something like that. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, then, well, we'll just create an algorithm that makes an ambient tune every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And what, we'll see me turn into a millionaire overnight, I assume.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really work like that, man. But I think it also creates a challenge that people have to come up with unique stuff. Like you're only really going to make that much money or get that much success, or I don't know. People may notice you if it's bringing something new to the table, innit?
Yeah.
I feel that. Do you know what? It's like, as you said, so you as an artist and you as a producer, I think from where I've known you and known you to do music, I think I can kind of have an idea of what your process is in terms of making music. I hear, you know, you're sending music off, you're waiting for it to come back, you're in the middle of making verses. But as a producer, what's your process like? Do you receive music, or do you have music that, you know, what's your process in terms of making music?
Making a new track?
A new track, yeah.
Magic.
Really backwards way, man. Like, to a lot of any other producers, like, they probably have a much more, like, authentic, smooth way, but mine is a bit weird. Like, make maybe a few tunes a year.
Yeah.
And, like, a dozen projects, but, like, a few finished tunes a year. And, like, a lot of the time I know a lot of producers that will start by sitting at the desk, load up a few sounds, mess around until something comes where I have to start with the initial idea. There's got to be like, okay, I'm going to get like for example, a sample with piano, and I'm going to reverse it. Yeah, that's the concept. That's where the track is born.
That's the genius.
But there's you don't make a lot by doing that. I still think it's a good thing to just open up a project and see what you have to do. It's just the way I'm doing it at the minute, and that I'm trying to, like, I don't know, like everywhere, like I was saying about being unique, just have the weird process in it.
So
I'm saying it like I'm preaching to people.
No, speak your truth, man. So I've got a question on top of that, which kind of links to the last question. Do you guys feel, both of you as an artist and as a producer, do you guys feel as though you have some sort of pressure to conform to what's in fashion right now, or like with music, or do you still feel like your creativity is original, like your expression of art? Do you follow what's in trend, or do you just create your own expression?
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Can I take the lead on that?
Yeah.
Can I also go back a sec as well? Because
Yeah.
let's introduce myself and how we met. We met in uni. So I went to uni to study music production in Brighton, and that's where I met FadedTapes.
Do you know? Sorry,
go ahead.
Not even to cut you, but I feel like you told me about Joe. I feel you told me about Joe before I knew you were FadedTapes.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
100%.
you told me, I got the producer like
You
this
knew
guy,
about me.
I sent him my music and everything, and now it's actually just clicking now, like actually clicking.
Yeah, man. A couple times I go down to Brighton, even so I've mentioned them, like I go down to check Joe. But yeah, man, we met in uni, and I think it took until probably the second or third year for us to realise that, oh shit, like, we're not like everyone else. We can make some shit here. Like, we can make some vibes. And Joe's always had beats loaded. Always had beats. And I can't even remember the first time I heard one of your beats. It must have been on SoundCloud. But we literally just, I think maybe even a song on this project. There might be a first song that a pure 90s. I don't know how old that instrumental is.
That's not an old one. I
It's
think
not.
one of the older ones would be
Loose.
Some of the older ones.
But these things came together from uni, basically, these ideas for this project now. So back to your question, I feel like we're both original. When we sleep, when we wake up, we've still got more original content that just oozes out of us. I can speak for myself and you, because listening to Joe's beats, FadedTapes, I'm going to start saying Joe, listening to FadedTapes' beats, it does it for me. Like, I don't have to do much more than press play, and the vibes are effortless.
Almost tells you what you
literally
you just do it.
Literally that. And you can I love that. you can put genres, you can put tags on the instrumentals, you can tell us it sounds like hip hop or alternative, but original is literally why we have come together since uni and stayed making vibes. So that's my answer on it.
So then would you say, I know you're going to answer, but just to add on top of that question so you can answer as well, would you say that you're sort of, the way you're heading, where you want to go, would you say you're sort of visionaries in your choice of style and music? Because no, do you know why I say that? Because
modesty.
With some people, I noticed that some of them, they make songs and they don't release them until maybe a year later, or maybe they sit on the songs and stuff, but it's still a hit. in that particular year. And for me, that's sort of a visionary stance because you're not really following the trend.
Fair.
Do you get what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, because that sounds so good, you get other people that start emulating that sound. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%. It's like a really common thing that happens, man. I was hearing you talk the other day, actually, on the podcast. You were saying, I think you were mentioning basically like you wish you'd put out more music when you were younger because you felt like the ideas had been played out and worked well.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you. Like, I'm not going to be that guy and sit here and like I had this idea first, but I had some ideas first.
Yeah, and I know
that are like not doing too bad now. Yeah, and I swear to God, no lie. Like, we swear on here.
Yeah. Say what you like.
Other friends watching.
I swear to fucking God, bro. Some of the shit I've done, I was like, why didn't I just like shove that in someone's face straight away?
Oh man, it happens, man.
It does, man. It does. And look, some people come up with a cool style, and it's cool when other people try it in their way as well. Like, I don't know, a new genre. I was there for the whole birth of like dubstep and how that grew and it expanded into from like one thing to another. Then like, I don't know, it's just intelligence comes into it. Like intelligent artists, they put their spin on it.
Yeah.
What was the question?
I wanted to finish off because you mentioned trends, and I feel like personally, I don't feel like we care too much about trends. We know what's hot, we know what sounds good, and then we know that's
inspired from old times.
That's good.
If you listen to what this guy some of the music this guy listens to, you just weren't here. You weren't here. Like it goes back decades. Yeah. So when you're talking about originality as well, so when you're sourcing the inspiration from some of the records in this guy's collection. It will just answer your question.
Do you know why I asked that? Because I'm an artist, but in a different form.
Oh, you're an artist, man.
You get what I'm saying? In a different form. And for me, my inspiration or my mind is not I don't believe it's what's out there at the moment. I believe my work is different. You get what I'm saying? But that's only not because I'm seeing something and it's inspirational or I've seen something that I like, but I'm just expressing myself. Do you get what I'm saying?
There's something within you that you know
within me. Do you get what I'm saying?
You've got like the idea. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Do you get what I'm saying? So that's for me. That is the epitome of originality. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you might have heard something that may have inspired you a long time ago. You might have heard a particular sound. It doesn't have to be a whole like song or whatever. You might have just heard a particular sound, and then that sound is in your mind, and you think, you know what, I'm gonna use the sound in this beat. For me, I might have seen a particular color or a particular, I don't know, piece of art, but then I've broken it down and reconstructed it and made my own thing.
Yeah.
And then out of that, something original comes out of that. Do you get what I'm saying? So
shout out Kanye.
Shout out Kanye, bro, because he's the epitome of
having a hard time.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Prayers for Kanye.
Yeah,
prayers
for real.
Kanye.
Prayers for
Hashtag.
Kanye.
So what you said about drawing sort of inspiration from certain things, like the things you're listening to, do you draw inspiration from life experiences as well, as a producer and as an artist? Does that come with any kind of like writer's block or kind of like producer's block, I guess? Like,
Good question.
Who wants to go first, cuz?
You go.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. I'm not even modest. You see it in me most, my bro. If life is still, usually my mind is still, and I don't like life to be still because I don't like my mind to be still.
Yeah.
So if my life experiences are that of a specific nature, I tend to find myself thinking about that specific nature, writing about that specific nature.
Yeah.
Lockdown, obviously, for everyone has hit everyone hard. You know, everyone has dealt differently with being told you cannot leave the house under certain circumstances. As an artist, I like my walks with the trees, man. Do you know what I mean? I never let it go through lockdown, but I can't just write about trees.
Do you know that? Like when you write, like, do you know where you get inspiration from and go and do that, or are you like unsure?
It's almost reverse. So I'll write about what I've been inspired by, and it will like what has brought me joy or what has thrilled me or what has moved me mentally. I'll then write about it, but then I'll also use it to write about what I want. So the past experiences, I'll use that to be like, okay, I've done that, but I want this, so I'll write about it. It's almost like manifesting it, I guess.
Yeah.
But the inspiration for things, I haven't been around groups of people in a while, and a lot of my music it relates to people, and it's you know, it's so that's where I feel I've struggled personally. Yeah, 100%. The inspiration to write about people has died down over the years besides lockdown, but inspiration from life in general.
Yeah.
You know, financially, health-wise, all these things can affect even wanting to listen to an instrumental and write a song.
I feel like we've been on this album for so long. We've both of us been through quite a bit in that space of time.
That is actually a very good concept.
Yeah.
So has that changed how the album shaped over the time?
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
though? I was listening to the tape yesterday. So that the tape's been submitted, guys. Everything's fine.
Release date
So
420.
just for the listeners and everything, you want to give the tape name
Yeah, sure.
and the date?
Yeah,
'Cause,
the tape name, the
you know,
date.
Have you got the
and
date?
we'll say it again at the end.
Yeah, so okay, the tape's confirmed. So 420 is actually going to be the release date, the 20th of April 2021.
Lovely.
It is called Saturn Squares. Now,
Okay. Yeah.
I have a strong fascination with this planet Saturn, and I feel like the squares is just a differentiation from the rings that surround the planet. And when you think about Saturn, you think about the rings. When you look at me, most times you already tell yourself what kind of guy I am, what I listen to, what I eat, what kind of women I'm attracted to. When you talk to me, it is not what you expect most times. And it's, you know, you look at the planet Saturn and just imagine one day you look up and you start seeing pictures of squares around it. That is literally a representation of me. So
Yeah.
that's why it's Saturn Squares. So it goes back to how long we've been doing this tape. It's been about 4 years.
Nah, longer.
Okay, maybe longer then. Since the end of uni, which was...
Wait, we're in now 2021.
Yeah.
I'm not so good at math. Hang on.
We finished uni when? 2015?
6
Yeah.
years.
6, 7 years? 6 years? 6 years, yeah.
Maybe.
So just before we finished uni then maybe we started doing this, because I'm sure there's a song we recorded. But yeah, Saturn Squares is the name of the tape, and it's 420, produced by FadedTapes, complimented by myself.
Super.
And it is...
Coming at you live.
You said it, man. I'm still spun. I'm sitting here like, how much has actually happened since we started recording this album?
Do you know what?
It's
As
crazy.
well, I have to say, what was your last tape?
It was
Is
the
it
Gemini.
Gemini.
The Gemini
Stardust Cafe.
Stardust Cafe, Gemini Valentine.
And you know me, I love all the music that you, especially you as well. You too.
Yeah, the Drifters.
Like yeah.
Drifters
My favorite
music.
tunes are when you feature on each other's tracks.
Love.
I actually
Yeah,
can't lie.
100.
And
Love.
100.
yeah, I know you, Aaron. You've been doing your thing. You've been releasing. The amount of times that I've been saying to, like, this guy's been like, yeah, tape's coming soon. I was like, bro, am I gonna grow grey hairs before I hear this?
Coming like Rihanna,
K Electronica.
Because I'm trying to be the interviewer today, because you know it's about Kdeem and it's about Fade and it's about this project. But equally at the same time, I can't lie, I can't wait to hear Kdeem.
Honestly, bro.
I really can't, because I rate myself as an artist, but the wordplay, the meaning behind things, you have to sit and you have to listen to a Kdeem track. Otherwise, you won't get. If you don't like, I've always thought to myself, if you get my songs or you get Kdeem songs or whatever the first time round, then I've maybe not really accomplished what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Honestly, I was literally just about to say, the first time I ever listened to your tune, I sat down with like my top mate co-producer, is called a Colt. Shout out Colt.
Big up,
I sat down. We listened to the track the first time. We're like, don't know what he said, but it sounded good.
Yeah.
And that was like the big thing. It's like, what he said to it must be good. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true, because the amount of times that, you know, I've recorded Kdeem's songs and then I've soloed his vocals, meaning I've just I'm just listening to his actual vocals themselves.
Yeah.
And it's only then that I'm catching certain things. And I'm like, if you're not listening to this, you're not going to catch
You're
it.
not-
But
yeah,
then that is good music. That is timeless music. You'll go
Yeah.
back to it in 3 years, go back and you'll hear something.
Yeah.
You didn't hear the
Listen
first
to
time.
gets in it. It's like that. You have to listen.
You have to
minimum
listen.
3-4 times. Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
And
Because
you know,
there's layers. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, something that I like as well is that from ages ago, like on SoundCloud, because I think that's where you released like a lot of your tracks
Initially, yeah.
I can
100.
go back to SoundCloud, and obviously they're all there, like tracks and everything, and listen to it. Like it's refreshing to listen to. You know, there's some albums that you listen to and it's like, alright, cool, I've listened to that. You're not really gonna listen to it again.
Yeah.
I can go back and listen to it all in limbo 1, 2, 3.
Limbo.
I can listen to all of them, fam.
Yep,
Do you know
yep.
what I mean? Yeah. Anyway,
And I was
gonna
gonna say on what you said about SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what platform did you start releasing on, but I've noticed SoundCloud. But what was the
There wasn't,
well,
you know.
actually,
There
yeah,
wasn't.
actually, what was yours?
So,
what was yours?
I was on MySpace.
Oh, hey,
Nice.
What's his name then?
Shout out your top 6 friends.
That's when it was organic, fam.
yes.
That's when it was.
Big up
That was a
Tom.
beautiful time.
It
Yeah,
was,
how's Tom, man? Hope you're good, Tom.
Tom, big up
Yeah,
Tom,
Tom,
man.
man. I
He changed a
couldn't
couple lives.
So everybody was looking at me
That
like,
one picture that you just see
Yeah.
everywhere, fam.
He looked like he got caught in something.
yeah.
But yeah, MySpace had the artist profiles, and when you had an artist profile on MySpace, you was that guy, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta at the time, so I was in high school out there.
Get more stupid.
Yeah,
That was a banger.
I
fam.
don't know if
Bangers
everyone remembers
and
Jerkin, the dance
Yeah.
Jerkin.
Yeah.
So that was popping at the time, and
Yeah.
The beat.
So we should have said as well.
It was-
fam,
it
how
was
did
the
you-
beat.
How did you end up in Atlanta? Because I'm like your. I feel like your upbringing's interesting, fam.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause, you know, you mix between here and there.
here and across the pond.
You can hear the sound. You can hear in your music. I feel like
Yeah.
where the sounds kind of cross over.
Love. It's one thing I always thank my mum for, which was taking us across the pond to Atlanta. We moved there in 2004.
You was born here, right?
Yeah, I was born in London. Moved to Atlanta in 2004. My mum went to study. So she went to Spelman College, studied women's studies and music. So she went there for music purposes as well. But it was just her dream as a little girl to always go to America. So she done it when we were old enough. And that is actually where I actually started wanting to do music. I never actually wanted to do music before I went to America.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a bus driver. Legit. I would have been the happiest bus driver in ever. Literally.
Drop people to their door, fam.
Don't lie, every girl. But yeah, man. I wanted to be a bus driver until I went to Atlanta. Mum was doing music. I followed her to college one day, and it was a rap. I just started pressing buttons, and boom, you have a beat, and that's where I started. But yeah, we had a MySpace out there, and yeah, I think it was SoundCloud straight after MySpace.
Yeah.
I think it was. But Lil B was the king of MySpace music.
Yeah.
Oh
Do
you
you
know
know
what?
what?
Shout out Bass God, man. Bass God, 100,000, 100
I'm not
million.
a fan.
Oh my
fam.
God.
I've never been a fan. But
You've never been a fan of Bass God?
nah, fam.
He was my hero.
I thought
bro.
it was like, you know, I never used to be a fan of Gucci, but then I started to
I was a big fan of
understand his art. But I still can't.
Are you
get Lil
relating them
B's.
because of how they sound?
Like, it's not
vocally?
even just how they sound, but I feel like you have to appreciate their sound to be able to listen to them.
Fair.
And I just felt like with Lil B, no matter what I tried, fam, I could not get into his music.
I'll play you a couple tunes later. I guarantee you, you'll spin one of
There's
these.
maybe one that I like, and I think it's more the beat than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it for me. I don't know what you first released on music wise.
In fact, first of all, just explain where FadedTapes comes from, because
That's a good question.
Well,
yeah, what does
Years ago. I have this thing where I feel like once upon a time when I was really young and I started this music thing, I used to have like a plan when I named a track or a project or an album. There was a plan, there was a reason why it was called this. I lost that skill somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is now, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it comes to tunes, I may as well just name 1, 2, 3, 4 at this point because I'm lost for ideas.
Yeah.
Can I add something on that? Half of these songs on the tape, literally, are going to be named what you've named them as beats.
Really?
Some of these names, don't get me wrong, we've written around some of the tracks of the title names, but a lot of these title names are just random.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
back what you just said.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everyone
It's just-
listening,
yeah, they are because you make the thing and like you're not really thinking about saving it at this point. You're trying to start the idea, and then it comes like you've been sat at the laptop for 12 hours, and you're like, all right, got to peel myself out of this chair now.
Yeah.
You like go to save it, and you're like,
ting. Ting
bitches.
number 1.
Yeah.
whatever it is, like
Yeah.
it just comes out, and then those that are like names kind of stick, or the sample, or like I'll just take a word from whoever. Like I think Luce is part of the guy who wrote the sample or something like that. I'm not sure.
You know, I just went with it. As soon as you told me the name of it, I just went with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It worked for me, so it worked.
I'm not gonna lie, Luce. Yeah?
I call it
Lucy,
Lucy.
fam.
You say Lucy, I say Lucy. Lucy.
I call it Lucy still.
Lucy.
Yeah.
So that's where the concept of like faded came from.
Faded tapes. There's not really a cool story behind faded tapes. It's just like me trying to think of ideas,
Yeah.
and
Most of the time,
it was more along like the aesthetic that we want to like portray. Is I'm a big fan of like nostalgia, and when you hear a song and it takes you right back,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
feet are in the fucking crowd, you're there, and you can and, like you get the thing in the back, or you can like smell certain things, or you just get like what you're saying with like your inspirations and your ideas, you just get transported to that place. It's more about that. And so Faded Tapes kind of suggested like their old tapes that you might find at your grandma's house or something like that.
I like that.
That
So
is
it's about
sick.
finding them
I like
old
that.
family treasures as well, man.
That's rare. That's a gem.
What
That's a gem.
what platforms do you think new and upcoming artists should really be releasing on? Like what should Bandcamp, Bandcamp. Do you know what? Shout out Bandcamp because the shout out to Bandcamp because the artist support and the even when it comes to the revenue side of things, you know, it really does look to put money in the artist's pocket.
They care about us.
So
Yeah.
are there any other like?
Explain Bandcamp to me because like, from
Sounds like a weird thing, like at school, innit? Like, do you want to go to Bandcamp?
Yeah.
American
We have to,
Pie,
like-
that's the first thing that pops
We'll
into
sit
my
there
mind.
and like play the ukulele.
I'm there.
You can look at Bandcamp as a way, like taking away all of the in betweens of finding a label or like finding
Literally.
all of that. It's just like a massive online label, is how I see it. And you are now in control of your releases, your payment, your stats, your advertising, your merchandise, everything.
Wow.
And it's just, you know, then they don't mess around. I think, what is it? They take 20%, is it?
They do.
Yeah.
That's tax.
And over lockdown, they started waiving a lot of their fees, so they started giving 50% just straight to people as
And
well.
they had days where they did 100 as well, and they straight to
100%.
the artist as well.
And I think you also notice how other platforms have kind of copied their model in a way. So like you said, the 20%. You know, SoundCloud now, if you get SoundCloud repost.
Yeah, so what's
They're
this then? I don't actually know about that. The SoundCloud made a change, didn't they?
SoundCloud
recently?
repost is just they've created a distribution service for it. So it's a bit like how, you know, like BeatStars. That's another like beat marketplace. They've now got their own distribution service for it. So it's just literally you pay $30 for the year and you can release all your music through there. They've got their own advertising sort of functions. But again, similar to like Bandcamp and all these other
I
platforms.
think
that are doing
Bandcamp
it.
started leading the way, and other people just started looking like, "Oh, I can't really.
Bandcamp gives you that real feel of a marketplace.
Yeah.
Like it's got that real market. It's like you can go on there and you can find,
almost shop for
you
something.
can, you can
It is
find
literally
everything
like a
and
shop.
anything on there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I like how artists will exclusively release to Bandcamp. I think Erykah Badu and like Bilal recently did something exclusive to Bandcamp. I know that's probably like old now, but that was probably actually last year.
Little Sims, I think, has done something exclusive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few
I like
artists.
Little
have.
I feel like this Bandcamp needs like more praise, fam.
It does.
I
You
know,
know
it doesn't really get that much. I feel like. I mean, every artist you ever speak to will sing nothing but praise about Bandcamp, and I got nothing but only good
it's
things to say.
the accessibility.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Literally, it's not like Spotify or Apple Music, but it is. But you can download it.
Yeah.
But then it's just own app like YouTube.
Is there an app for Bandcamp?
Yeah, there's an app,
There's an app.
there's an app for Bandcamp and Bandcamp artists.
Yeah. Okay,
Both are really good, but it is that thing. It's like everyone
It's
uses Spotify.
Yeah.
Everyone's on Spotify. It does the whole year roundup, or whatever. You could repost it.
Yeah.
You know, do you want Bandcamp? It's again like, do you want to come to the garage and sit around the chair with a ukulele?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what Bandcamp sounds like. And I don't want to shit on Bandcamp because they are good, but
it's
like, the
awesome.
name is a bit maybe puts people.
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
all be assimilated with Bandcamp for me to be like, oh, listen to the tune. You're just immediately going to pick up and go on Bandcamp. Do you know what I mean? It has to replace Apple Music. It has to replace Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I just treat it as you sent me a mix of today, and it was Mixcloud. And
I
just,
like Mixcloud.
It's just
Yeah,
like
Mixcloud.
for me, Mixcloud has just been just whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those, and that's where I view Bandcamp. It's just like just another place you can put your music.
Do you know what I think it is? I think is when you're a part of that world, you know about these things. Like I appreciate DJing a lot, and I know that most DJs upload their mixes to Mixcloud.
Oh, okay.
Whereas you'd think they'll be on SoundCloud, but it's Mixcloud. Mixcloud is the place for
DJs.
every DJ's mix.
It used to be SoundCloud, but I think
it used to be
SoundCloud
SoundCloud.
got like
Okay,
cracked
this
it down
is
on
it,
the,
this is
the copyright.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is it. That's it.
Okay.
I think Mixcloud have a deal, don't they, where they
Yeah, and
I don't know.
I don't know, but then when you want to watch live DJ sets, it used to be Instagram Live because they were doing well, but now it's Twitch, and Twitch is taking over
That makes
gaming,
sense.
it's taking over YouTubers, it's taking over a lot of things.
Yeah, Twitch
live
now, I think.
DJing.
Yeah,
you know.
one of the artists I'm working with at the moment is doing tons of shows on Twitch. I think
There you go. There you go. And I don't know the dynamics behind Twitch, but I know that I watch a lot of things in it. So
Straight like that.
yeah.
So, what was the? I know you said the idea around the album was like Saturn Squares, and you explained that a bit earlier. But what was the? What are you trying to achieve with the album? This album between you two, is there any kind of is there any objective, or is it just
Yeah,
a vibe?
I want to fart in people's ears.
Is there a particular audience?
Ooh, that's a good question. Every and anyone that likes to be mentally stimulated by vibrations.
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
Def Jam poetry there.
Any and anyone that appreciates, all these instrumentals are. I don't think there's one that is too headbanging. Like, I think every instrumental on the tape can complement you chilling at 10 p.m. after a Saturday night out.
Bedroom sessions.
Yeah, literally. It's just a chill tape.
So just hold on. So actually, I'll do it.
Clap.
I'm making something. Am I moving mad?
Yeah. You trying to run it now?
Yeah, do you know what? Can you just double check with him?
We stopped it, innit?
I didn't. Did you stop it? I think I might have. Yeah. So, bro, I don't think that mic by Aaron is. Are they all on? Would it pop up on here?
I'm glad you said something.
Yeah. And you see, is it recording? Because it's not on. It's now on 0. Because I don't know. Did you press it? I actually can't remember. If we press record now, is it gonna save over?
No. It'll allow it onto a new folder, but you definitely recorded the last one.
Yeah, we definitely recorded the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely pressed it. Yeah.
I definitely pressed it. Yeah.
I didn't touch it. I must have gone to quickly check it now.
Yeah. Do you know what? Just in case.
I'm crying.
Just sat there thinking there's nothing recorded. Yeah. Is it not there?
I was that to you? I'm losing my mind. That's so press record. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Alright, taking 10 more minutes right now. Don't do it again. Don't worry, people love the audio as well.
Yeah. Is it recording? Yeah, make sure.
So that double check.
Yeah, it's 10, yeah.